Hi gang, Rob here. It is the afternoon of 27 February 2018. Coming to you with a quickie little knife review this afternoon. This is going to be regarding the North Arm Knives Skaha. The Skaha North Arm Knives produces fine cutlery in British Columbia, Canada, I believe. A relatively new company, I think, and if you look closely at the stamped nature of the logo and the milled surface of the blade face, it's going to look a little familiar to you, I think. Similar to another Canadian knife company, Grimsmo Knives. Years ago, went to a John Mayer concert, and when we got back, we were telling her brother about it, and he was a musician, and she, my wife was raving about how great John Mayer was, and when she mentioned him to her brother Steve, she asked if he liked John Mayer. Steve said, "I think he listens to Dave." Matthews. That's kind of what I thought when I saw this knife. I think they listen to Dave, or the Grimsmo brothers in this case. A very, up till now, unique way of machining a blade, not by grinder, but by mill, for the main blade profile. So what is the Skaha, other than the fact that it has a, in my opinion, goofy and strange blade face? Well, it is a spear point-ish knife, 3 5/16 in blade length, 97 thousandths stock, crafted of Crucible S35 VN blade steel. The handle, 4 7/16 in length, about 5/8 of an inch wide at its widest point. And they come in a variety of fruit flavors. All G10 are the handles, but lots of colors, I think. The knives are available to be purchased at this point only on the North Arms website, as I understand it. And right now their books are closed for the Skaha. I think they kind of build one model at a time, much like the Grimsmo brothers. Of course, the North Arms product, you can tell by looking at it, is going to be considerably less expensive than a Grimsmo. I think I see this knife as a pure and simple EDC knife, utility tool. It's just one of those knives that is in the sweet spot. The blade shape is slicey, it's piercy. I'm sure it could be sharp. This one has a factory edge on it and a little bit of use at the tip. Pretty good edge, I think. The finish, I think, is kind of interesting. I've been trying to discern how they might produce this finish. I don't know if they use a polishing setup for the tang, but in order to get this milled surface to sort of a sheen, I would imagine they use some kind of a tumble. What is it Case used to use? Corn cobs or something to get that sort of tumbled polish? That appears to be kind of what we're looking at here. It's not a grind and polish process. It is a milling process followed by some kind of a polish. Blade profile, as I'm just running my fingers down it, is a little strange. It almost feels like there's a flat down to about where my thumbnail is, and then it feels I think it feels a little hollow. It's kind of hard to pick up visually from the milling marks in the blade face, but so it's almost like it's saber hollow from about here down using a mill. Okay, nice fine tip. Not too fine to be super delicate, but fine enough. That 97 thousandths stock reaches a dimension of about 19 thousandths behind the edge. Great slicing geometry. No problem whatsoever. The handle has sort of a vaguely griptilian profile. I think I just happen to have one on me. Got a 550-1. I think you can see the resemblance. Not exactly, but same idea. Little Coke bottle going on in the Skaha. Weight on the Skaha is a svelte, bang into the camera, a svelte 3.2 ounces. This low weight for a substantial knife is achieved by linerless construction in the G10, except for the locking leaf, which is also spring heat treated and tempered S35VN, believe it or not. A couple standoffs, torque screws. The pivot mechanism on this liner lock knife is actuated by miniature ball bearings and backed up with thrust washers in the G10. Seems to work quite nicely indeed. I like flippers that are liner locks instead of frame locks because you have no issues with death lock if you press on the lock bar. Opens the same way every time. When you close the knife, where the blade rests against your thumb is past the detent ball. You know, all important things if you're going to make a flipper. Action is superb. Blade centering is superb. But if you're looking at this knife, guys, and you are right now, you see this in front of the camera, S35VN, kind of a standard blade shape, a relatively standard handle shape. Nothing exotic in construction. It is 3D machined and satin finished G10, but again, not breaking any new ground really. I don't know, what would you think this knife ought to cost on the open market? $90, $100? That's kind of what I thought looking at it. A North American made knife of this ilk I think should be around a C note. I don't see it as a knife that should be priced above, let's say, a paramilitary 2. But these are going like hotcakes. In fact, going so fast that in order to catch up with orders that are currently in-house, North Arm has closed their books. They must be going like crazy, or they have extremely limited production, or both. This particular Skaha is on loan from my buddy Courtney Fettinger of Tattoo Fort Wayne. You guys know him on Instagram as Tattooed Fat Dude. And I believe as soon as I get this back to him this afternoon, it's going to become available. And Fat likes to sell knives on his Instagram page, so you might want to keep an eye. Don't know what he's going to ask for it, but it's going to be for sale, I believe. Not sure where this came from. Black paracord lanyard with a frosted donut bead. It gets in the way, frankly. Carry configuration is tip up, right hand only, and this I think is, I don't know, a considerable fail on a on a $169 knife. Kind of a gas station looking clip, strange. Mounting configuration, almost like it was designed to be a, I don't know, like a tip down clip with a pivot here. I don't know. Just kind of a USA Knife Maker's supply quality clip there, I think. You know, would it have taken that much for them to put another piece of steel over on the other side and make it ambidextrous? For $169, I would think they should. That, though, is my only complaint. Ergonomically, the knife is just a knife. I mean, it just fits in your hand like you would want it to, in a variety of grips. No hot spots, just super comfortable. If you were going to go reverse grip, you'd really love that lanyard. I really don't understand that. So in a lot of ways, it's just a really solid offering. This I'll just never understand. Why you would want to create ridges going horizontally in a surface that's supposed to be slicing through material with as little resistance as possible. I don't know. I mean, does it give it a little bit of character? I guess it does. But in every other way, the knife just screams utility. Frankly, I'd love to see this design with a full flat ground blade in mass production for griptillion money. 120 bucks, be great. But other than that one flaw, in my opinion, the knife is just superb. I hope they ramp up production and be able to get these into the hands of folks, and maybe even at a little lower price. I think it would be an instant classic, frankly. But at closer to $9.40 Benchmade money than Paramilitary 2 money, not quite a value leader. But a pretty interesting piece of a collection, I think. Just a very, very solid offering from North Arm. A company to watch, my friends. A company to watch. That's all for this one. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.